right, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. In my thinking, I decided that I'm going to be making some dishes that you would normally put on your Thanksgiving table, incorporated with other recipes that I may be doing up before the holiday. This gives you enough time not only to make your decision on what it is you want to cook for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or for New Year's, but it also allows you so that if you don't know how to cook it, maybe you can use my recipe in order to try to help you get through it with the amount of ease that you would need at that time, because it's a stressful time and you're doing a lot of cooking and you don't want to be second guessing your own recipes. So let's get started with the ingredients that you're going to need. Of course, you're going to need the sweet potatoes, and I have them here. Then you're going to need sugar, flour, nutmeg, cinnamon, carnation milk. I'm going to hold this for last. Eggs, butter, vanilla extract, lemon extract, and you're going to need some pie shells. Now, if you want to go ahead and make your pie crust and, go ahead and do that. I don't do that anymore because you can find just as many brands in the store that's going to give you pretty much the same result. Okay, so about this salt. This is a very important ingredient when you're making your sweet potato or your pumpkin pies. I'll tell you why. Have you ever got in the middle of making a pie and you taste it, you do that taste test, and you're like, this pie is missing something, but I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. It's normally salt. Now, I know it would seem like that wouldn't be, or this wouldn't be the recipe where you would have a salt concern, but yes, you will. Make certain that you put in a little bit of salt in your sweet potato pie. Why is that? Because it brings all of your flavors that's inside of that sweet potato pie. It brings it together. So please don't eliminate the salt. And I'll meet you at the stove. Okay, now I brought you back to the table to just show you one thing in case you don't know it. A lot of people probably do, but just in case some of my viewers don't because they're younger cooks, I just brought you back to show you this. Now these potatoes are hot. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to peel these potatoes. Now, it doesn't matter if you bake your potato when you get ready to get it cooked prior to making a sweet potato pie. It doesn't matter if you bake your potato or if you boil your potato. And these potatoes are very hot. I'm used to touching hot stuff all the time. This is the way you're going to, and these are the strings that I'm talking about. So you're going to actually see the strings when I get ready to make. You're going to see how I take the strings out when I get ready to make the pies. Now, you want to really actually do them the same way when it comes to getting the skin off of it. Like I said, this is very hot, so what you want to do is to peel, take 2 forks. I normally take 2 backwards forks. And what I do is, because it's easier to peel this way, you don't want to peel them first and then boil them. You want to boil them in the skin or bake them in the skin and then peel them afterwards, okay? Now, because this is so hot, and I'm going to show you how hot this actually is, if I can open it. See that smoke still coming from it? That potato is very hot. So this is the way that you want to take your potatoes, then you roll it just a little bit on the back to get the skin actually off of the potato. Now, once you do that, then you're going to take it and just put it over into your mixer. Go back and leave any little bit that you may have left behind. Okay, now I can do one more just to show you how this is actually done. Okay, and see, you got a complete skin where your potato has actually came all the way out of it. Now, the reason why I do it this way is because what I also do is go ahead and put my butter in at that time, because then I don't have to microwave it. What will actually happen is my butter will melt because my potatoes are so hot. So you want to take another potato, and I have 3. And this is just the knife that I was cutting the butter with. Okay. And once you cut off the ends, then you want to stick that fork in there and just get it started. And once you get it started, then you just take the skin all the way off. And it's very easy to come off that way. Then you lean it, see, and the rest of it will just fall off. Then when you get it all off, don't worry about those little dots that you see right there, because they'll come off. I'll show you how to get rid of all of that. Then you just take it, put it in your pan or in your bowl, whatever you're going to do it with. Now, once you see, like here, you see that smoke that's actually coming up, then I'm going to go ahead and put my butter down over in there. This is why you do softened butter. Okay? Don't do margarine. Let me tell you the difference in that. And I want to tell you what I'm thinking about it, okay? Margarine, when you get through and you do a taste test with margarine, your food tastes just like it was going to taste normally, and you don't know that there's a difference. If you use butter, you're going to be able to taste everything that you put in these sweet potato pies. You will taste the cinnamon, the nutmeg, you will taste the sugar. You will actually taste it. If your taste buds are really working for you, you will be able to taste it. So that's why you use butter. When you see people use butter in their cooking process, what they're actually doing is they want flavor. And they want to be able to taste that flavor. So that's why you use butter. Every time you use margarine, you will not taste it. It'll just taste like, just like a regular meal. You won't be able to differentiate the different tastes in each one of the ingredients that you put in. That's actually what I'm saying. Okay, so that's just a little side tip. So I'm going to meet you at the mixer. Just wanted to show you how to do that after I get through peeling this second potato, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm at the mixer. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. And the butter is in there. Remember, I put it in there at the table. The potatoes are still warm. And right now, I'm just going to mix it up so I can take out. I'm turning it up a little bit. So I can take out the strings. And I'll show you how that's done. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of milk now. Why am I doing that? Because I need to loosen up these potatoes so that they won't be so with a whippy look, so those strings will go ahead and fall off. So what you want to do is to get just enough mix so it can start to drop the strings. So we'll stop it. I'll take it down. I'll release this. Now I'm going to shake some of this off, and I want you to see it, okay? Now, all of that is strings. You can see some of the strings hanging from that. Now, you want to do this at least 3 times, okay? So I'm going to rinse this. Then I'm going to put it back on, and I'm going to do it again. Okay, now the first time that you do it, the strings, you know, you may have a whole lot of strings, which is exactly what I had. So then I'm going to put it back on. Take it back up. Do it again. Go ahead, just a little bit more of the carnation. And what that's doing is it's making it just liquidy enough for those strings to go ahead and loosen itself. Now, a lot of times you can see people who, when you get ready to taste the sweet potato pie, you will see strings in the sweet potato pie. That's because they didn't do this particular process. This is very important because you don't want strings in your sweet potato pie. Now, I'm going to release it again. Then stop it. Let it down. I'm going to do it again. Take it off. Shake it down. And there's more strings. So I'm going to rinse this off. Now, I had this sweet potato pie recipe online. A lot of people say that they cannot find it. So that's why I'm doing it again. And I'm going to do the whole complete process of the sweet potato pies. And I know that you'll be able to find this one. Okay? So you want to do it again. Put it back on. Now I'm going to do that one more time. Take it back up. Start it back again. This is a quick process. This is going to be the most lengthy part when you have to clean those strings out. Just a little bit. Okay, that's the third time. Take it down. Take it out. Clean these out. I don't want to take that. Because, see, that's a big glob. See there? So you want to get that out. Okay, now I have here 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to go ahead and add some milk to this flour. Why am I doing that? Because I want to get the lumps out of this. And you need that flour in your sweet potato pie because it helps to make that sweet potato pie more solid when you get ready to cut into it instead of being mushy. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that up. And then I'm going to put it over into my sweet potato pie mix. Okay, so now I'm going to put the mixer back on and take it back up, and now I'm going to go to the next step. Don't worry about the amount of whipping that is actually done, because the more you whip your sweet potato pies, the fluffier they're going to be. Now this is 2 cups of flour. I have 3 sweet potatoes. I'm sorry, this is 2 cups of sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of the sugar at a time so it can blend well. I'm adding like about 1/4 of that sugar each time. Add a little bit more. At the last cup. Okay, now it's at this point that I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of it. Lift that up. I'm going to add my flour. Turn my speed down just a little bit so you can see in it. That's the last of that. And all that is just flour and carnation. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and stop it again. And I'm going to take it down. And what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to scrape it to make certain that anything that's down in the bottom, I've gotten it up and that's going to be able to blend. Again, I tell you, don't worry about how long the pies actually mix, because the longer your mixing process, the fluffier your pie is going to be. While I have it down, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And see, this time I don't have as many strings. See? But I'm going to go ahead and clean the strings off. Anyway. Okay, I had to bend over because I'm sitting right by the sink. Okay, put this back on. Take it back up. And continue to add the rest of my ingredients. Now in goes my nutmeg. In goes my cinnamon. Remember, I told you, whatever you do, don't forget that salt. And it's a pinch of salt. There it is. In goes my salt. In goes some more carnation. And I don't need, this pie I actually know by heart. I'll put your measurements, like I said, in the description box. But for 3 plump sweet potatoes, it takes a can of carnation. And that's exactly what I'm putting in here, a can of carnation. Now I'm going to go ahead. I have a little bit more sugar as this. I put in about 1 3/4 cups, so I'm going to taste it. And because I know how it's supposed to look, I just felt like it may have been a little bit too much sugar, so I'm holding back, and I'll taste it at the end and see if I need to add the rest of that sugar. And taste it so you know what you're doing, because you don't want it to be over sweet, even though I love mine to be sweet. You may not be quite like me. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in my vanilla extract. And let that blend for a minute. Grab me a spoon while I wait. Okay. And then I'm going to add in my lemon flavor. And it's an extract as well. Add that in. Then stop it. Stir it one more time. Smells delicious. Make certain that everything is blended down in there. Okay, take it back up, start it back. And now I'm going to add in my eggs one at a time. There goes number 1. And you see me do the same thing with bacon. You always see me put my eggs over into a different bowl. And the reason why I do that is because eggs can be rotten. And if you burst your eggs over into your mixture, if you burst a rotten egg, you got to throw out all of the mix. So you don't want to do that. You want to put them into something else and then put them in, because this way, if you have a rotten egg, you can always throw away just the one egg as opposed to throwing away everything that you're trying to mix simply because you put in a bad egg. Okay, now we're going to do a taste test, and I'm going to see if I need the rest of that sugar. If I don't need the rest of that sugar, then I'll adjust your recipe in the description box. But sugar is one thing. If you don't add too much sugar, you can always add more. If you add too much sugar in the beginning, then you're going to have to add more ingredients, or you're going to have to go ahead and throw out everything. So it's better to be safe than sorry. So this is the way I do it. And get in the habit of bursting your eggs inside of a different bowl before you put them into your pies, your cakes, your pie crust, anything that you're going to be making that requires you to use an egg. Make sure that you burst it into something else, because if you fool around and get a rotten egg, you got to throw out everything, and that you don't want to do. Now I have just a little bit of milk left. Not that much. You can see it's drizzling out slow. So I want to go ahead and put that in. Okay. And then I want to add the rest of the sugar if it's needed. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to stop it again and I'm going to taste it. Bring it down. I'm going to taste it. That's good. But what I am going to do is to go ahead and add the rest of my sugar. So that's a total of 2 cups of sugar. Okay, now I can make this pie without even having to go through this, because like I said, I know this from memory. And a lot of old school cooks, they do have the recipes already in their head. But I wanted to do this early so it will give you a chance to go ahead and do it. You can experiment with it, or you can just go ahead and make it so that you can use it for your family. Turn it up. I'm going to let this blend for about another 3 minutes. And then I'll bring you back when I get ready to pour it into the dish. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to stop this. It's been about 3 minutes. I'm going to let it down. Take this off. And you see at this point, I may have maybe 1-2 strings. That's not enough to even worry about. And I'm going to go ahead and pour this mixture up. There it goes. Okay, I'm going to give it a stir first. Make sure that everything is okay down in there. My oven is preheating at 350 degrees. I'm going to pour this pie up. Now I still have enough left for another pie. Okay? Okay, now there it is. Okay, there the pies are. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven. I'm going to allow it to cook for about 45 minutes, and I'll bring you back when these pies are done. But see how they came out? They look delish. The way you tell this from when you're baking, if you're going to bake pumpkin pies as well, then you would sprinkle the top of your pumpkin pies with a little bit of your spices, whether it be your cinnamon or your nutmeg or your ginger. Sprinkle just a little bit on top, and that way you'll be able to tell your sweet potato pies from your pumpkin pies because they look pretty much the same. Okay? I'll be right back after 45 minutes or a little bit longer. Alrighty, I'm back. And the pies are ready. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out. There they are. Sweet potato pies. Now, I know these pies is delicious because I've already tasted the mix. And these two pies I wanted to go ahead and get out early. And I do have enough mix in order to make a third pie that I'm going to keep. But I know that they're going to devour these pies tonight. I wanted to get this out early enough so if you want to experiment, try it. Or if this is something you truly didn't know how to make, now you too can put it on your Thanksgiving Day table, because I always tell you, if you do what I do, you're going to get the same results, okay? That's it. Sweet potato pies. Chris is baking. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for YouTube. Bye. Please follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Chris Cook for YouTube. And don't forget to share this video. Bye.